Senator Howell, you're live.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order and thank everybody for making themselves available on relatively short notice. The purpose of today's meeting is to review and recommend for approval the financing of a proposed economic development incentive package. This project requires MEI Commission review under the Code of Virginia, Section 30-309, because the proposed incentives include more than $10 million in combined tax exemptions, grants, or appropriations of general funds, non-general funds, or bond proceeds. However, prior to reviewing the proposed incentives, the Commission first needs to adopt a virtual meeting policy consistent with the Virginia Freedom of Information Act. As you may remember, during the 2022 session, the Virginia Information Act, Freedom of Information Act was substantially amended to allow for greater flexibility for public bodies to hold electronic meetings such as this. In order to utilize these provisions, the law requires that the MEI Commission adopt an electronic meetings policy. A copy of the proposed policy, which reflects all the new provisions added to FOIA, is included in your meeting materials. Lisa Wallmeyer, General Counsel with VEDP, will provide us a brief overview of the policy before we vote on its adoption. Lisa?
Hi, everyone. Great to see you, albeit virtually. So as Senator Howell mentioned, there's been some pretty substantial changes to FOIA. I'll walk you through the highlighted changes. The policy before you just adopts the various provisions for your use. There's no tweaks, no bells and whistles. It's just you have to adopt a policy that allows you to use these provisions. The biggest change is that now you are allowed to meet sometimes completely virtually. As you'll remember before, except when we were in the pandemic, it was only isolated members could meet remotely. Now you can have 2 meetings a year that are remote, 100% remote, but they can't be back-to-back meetings. So the next time you meet, it's going to have be an in-person meeting. If for whatever reason you're in a year where you're having to meet many times a year, more than just 4, the law actually allows you to have 25% of your meetings virtually. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Hopefully you aren't at a point where you're having to meet every month. I don't think people would be very happy about that, but that would allow you an additional meeting. Now there's still, for the meetings that are in person, there are still some provisions that allow for individual members to meet remotely under particular circumstances. And that would be if you have a sickness or disability that prevents you from getting to Richmond, or if you're caring for an immediate family member that has a sickness or disability. If the distance from your home to the meeting is beyond 60 miles, you can meet remotely. Or if you have a personal matter, which is really anything, it could be your car broke down and you're stranded on the side of the road. It could be you have back-to-back meetings and just can't, get to the location. That one you're only allowed to use 2 times per member. The important thing to remember, especially with the new provision about distance from a meeting, because I think probably every single one of you lives more than 60 miles from the meeting, is that we still have to have a quorum in place. And so I would just advise you to be judicious about when you need to invoke one of those personal exemptions, because we can't have every meeting every time doing that, or we wouldn't have a quorum and then we can't meet at all when we have in-person meetings. So those are the really, really broad parameters. I'm happy to answer any specific questions about them, but what your policy sets forth is just you're authorizing these various uses as pursuant to law. It also states that you will exercise them consistently. So you're not going to say if one person has a personal exemption one meeting, you're not going to tell a member the next time with the same situation that they can't meet unless there's a quorum issue. But so you can't pick and choose members to let meet virtually is the long and short of it. So with that, happy to answer any questions. And otherwise, somebody will need to motion and second to adopt the policy.
First, are there any questions for Lisa? Okay, not seeing any, would someone please make a motion and a second that we adopt this policy?
I so move, Mr. Frank.
Second, Barry Knight.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we adopt this FOIA policy, and it needs to be a recorded vote. So if Josh Kaplan, our staff attorney, will read the roll.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Call the roll. Delegate Austin. Delegate Bloxham.
Yes.
Delegate Knight.
Yes.
Delegate Marshall.
Yes.
Delegate Torian.
Yes.
Delegate Sickles. Delegate Ware.
Aye.
Senator Howell.
Yes.
Senator Locke.
Yes.
Senator Norman. Senator Ruff.
Yes.
Senator Saslaw. Senator Saslaw. I see you. Secretary Cummings.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm a yes. Saslaw's a yes.
Secretary Merrick.
Yes.
All right, the ayes have it, Madam Chair.
Good. So now we have our policy in place. Now that we have the policy, I'd like to have a motion for a closed meeting for us to consider the proposed incentive package and the potential for new jobs and capital investment associated with the project. We do need to have a closed session. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
Madam Chairman, this is Frank. I move that the MEI Project Approval Commission convene a closed session to discuss the previously unannounced expansion or location of a federal government agency in Planning District 8. The closed session is authorized pursuant to Subdivision A5 of 2.2-3711 and Subdivision A39 of 2.2-3711. Pursuant to 2.2-3712F of the Code of Virginia, the commission will also request that the council and staff attend because it believes that their presence will reasonably aid the commission in the consideration of the topic that the subject is of a closed meeting.
Okay, now this,
I'll
sorry.
second that.
Okay, the motion's been moved and seconded, and this also requires a recorded vote. And I'll just note that after the recorded vote, we will be alerted by Senate IT staff that we have entered a closed session. So if we could please have the vote.
All right. Delegate Austin. Delegate Bloxham.
Yes.
Delegate Knight.
Yes.
Delegate Marshall.
Yes.
Delegate Torian.
Yes.
Delegate Sickles.
Yes.
Delegate Ware.
Yes.
Senator Howell.
Yes.
Senator Locke.
Yes.
Senator Norman. Senator Ruff.
Yes.
Senator Saslaw.
Yes.
Secretary Cummings.
Yes.
Secretary Merrick.
Yes.
Are you going to announce the vote, or do you want me to go into?
I think, okay,
You
yeah,
ready?
it's the vote. by IT that we're back up.
We've got to vote on the appropriation, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Madam Chair, your closed session is over and you are back in open session.
Okay, good. Well, now that we are back in open session, I want to ask Josh Kaplan to lead a roll call vote to certify that only matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements were discussed in closed session.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Be voting on the following. Do you certify that to the best of your knowledge, only matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements and identified in the closed meeting motion were discussed in the closed session? Delegate Austin? Delegate Bloxham?
Yes.
Delegate Knight?
Yes.
Delegate Marshall?
Yes.
Delegate Torian?
Yes.
Delegate Sickles?
Yes.
Delegate Ware?
Aye.
Senator Howell?
Aye.
Senator Locke?
Yes.
Senator Norman? Senator Ruff?
Yes.
Senator Saslaw?
Yes.
Secretary Cummings?
Yes.
Secretary Merrick?
Yes.
The ayes have it, Madam Chair.
Good. So now we're back, and Senator Ruff has a motion for us.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I move that the MEI Project Approval Commission recommend for approval the incentive package from the Commonwealth of Virginia as described in the commission this day by the Virginia Economic Development Partnership Authority and per the commission's discussion in closed session. This recommendation includes the proposed incentive package applying to a federal government agency considering locating in Planning District 8. This recommendation is subject to the economic development project located in Virginia, being located in Virginia.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded, and Josh, please call the roll.
All right, last one. Delegate Austin? Delegate Bloxham?
Yes.
Delegate Knight?
Yes.
Delegate Marshall?
Yes.
Delegate Torian?
Yes.
Delegate Sickles?
Yes.
Delegate Ware?
Yes.
Senator Howell?
Yes.
Senator Locke?
Yes.
Senator Norman? Senator Ruff?
Yes.
Senator Saslaw?
Yes.
The ayes have it.
Right. Well, I think this was a very significant project, and I'm glad that we have considered it and voted affirmatively on this. And with that, there being no further business, I move that the MEI adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Have a great day.